Americans are moving to new homes and cities at the lowest rate on record, with only 7.8% Americans relocating in 2023, down from 9.8 in 2019, 20% in 19. Wow. In the 50s and 60s, 20% of Americans were relocating to different areas, okay? Driven by high housing cost and stagnant job market. The frozen housing market prevents growing families like Brandon and Catherine, who bought an 1,100 square foot home in Summit, New Jersey, from upgrading due to scarce large homes and doubled mortgage payments at current rates, with Brandon stating the plan was to stay 5 to 7 years and then we'd upgrade to our family grew. Economists, including Chang Tai Singh, man, I totally butchered that, man, but from the University of Chicago, note that this immobility linked to expensive housing weighs on U.S. gross domestic product as it limits job opportunities and earnings. The job market has slowed, with hiring, quits, and layoffs activity in white-collar industries dropping to the lowest level since 2009, and the probability of workers switching employers falling from 2.8% monthly in 1990 to 2.3% 2020s, according to Philadelphia Fed data. This is pretty wild. So Massachusetts, due to insufficient relocation assistance, high-cost living, stating, this is an engineering grad from University of Penn, moving to Massachusetts with almost no money is very difficult, and instead found a job in Fort Worth, Texas. Tom, what's going on here?
What's going on is there's a couple things. First of all, we need to be building more. We need to be building more houses, but we need to be building them around areas where we get jobs. Where jobs? Well, how about Arizona, where we build a giant semiconductor factory? And so that's what we need. We need this. This is the hangover from the Biden administration's 4 years where nothing started. This is just a terrible hangover from that. And what you have here, and when they were telling us that there were jobs being made, but Vinny, remember that? They were recounting all the restaurant and amusement park and all the hospitality workers that went back to work after COVID. And they said, oh, look, I created all these jobs. Yep. Oh, and then we found out all the jobs numbers were suspect, and then Trump fired the head of the fake job numbers. Recently. Okay, so what we have right now is we have an economy where people are looking for jobs and they're looking for places to buy. What's really interesting right now, if you take 100 people that bought homes, take a wild guess, what % of those you think is a first-time buyer?
Say it one more time.
100 people buy a home.
Okay.
How many are a first-time buyer?
Oh, no. 90%?
No, it's 24. It's 24.
I was like, oh, no.
24%.
No, 90%.
No. Very
24%. Why do you do this every time?
Hey, Vinny, 1 + 1. Shit, why did you do this to me? Kentucky.
No, but it was 30.
Go Wildcats.
It was 38%. You go back to the late 90s. It was 38%. Now it's only 24%.
24 versus 38.
So, and there's four
equals
things.
90.
Late 90s was 38% to now 24%?
Correct.
Damn.
So here's the 4 factors. Number 1, the cost of the house, and interest rates going lower helps people be more affordable. But number 2, if the house is more expensive, you have to check that leads to higher property taxes and higher insurance. And insurance is being adjusted up because they're changing risk in places like coastal Florida. Your homeowner's insurance is going to be a little bit higher because of the hurricanes. If you take a look at it, ready for this? In Florida, they collected 50% more property taxes than 4 years ago. And in Dallas, they collected 33% more property taxes. Now, the headlines will say they raised property taxes. No, they didn't. The houses became more expensive, and then when you buy a house, you pay the property tax based on the price you paid for the house. So what does America need right now? Bill Pulte is right. We need interest rates to go low, and it looks like we're going to get 3.25 rates cuts in a row, starting on the 16th, 17th of September. Then the next Fed will get 0.75 of a point to now in the other. That's good. But we also need job creation, like factories coming back to America, which is exactly what Trump's trying to get. And then we need homes, affordable starter homes, to be built in those areas. Yeah. So we need supply. So we need supply and we need job growth. And both of those things Trump can't do overnight, but he's putting things in in place, and he's pushing really hard. But until then, it's a tough job market, and it's tough for people to find starter homes.
Adam.
Guys, go buy a home. It's expensive. Interest rates are high. You'll pay taxes, mortgage rates, your maintenance, your HOA. Who cares? You also don't have any money for a down payment. Go buy a home. It's the best investment you'll ever make.
I sense
Go
that.
do that.
Adam,
Maybe you're
me
hearing
too,
some
Pat.
sarcasm
I definitely feel
from the
it.
guy
It's
who's
coming
been
on
yelling from the rooftops. Don't buy a home. If you don't have a family or you're not permanently living in a city, it is at this point the worst investment you can possibly make. And again, I'm sure I'll hear it from the realtor crowd. There was a book that I read back in the day. It was called Who Moved My Cheese? You guys ever read this?
Yes.
What was the basic premise of the book?
Tell us.
Success goes to those who adapt. You ready for it? Adapt or die. You don't have money for a home, buddy. You don't have a job that pays you enough for a home. The one constant in life is change. What the world is telling you is maybe it's not my time to buy a house. Wait till interest rates drop. Wait till you have a better job. Move to a different city. Stay flexible. If you have the money, go for it. If you're just trying to figure it out like Vinny it is, save that money and rent.
Okay. So, again, to the community that's 46 years old, drives an Uber, and is single, doesn't want kids, is just kind of chilling, relaxing, still
46,
parties
Pat.
in Miami.
Don't-
45-year-old, the 45-year-old. I just want to let you know, phenomenal advice from
No,
Adam.
but also if you're
Menefkin, please.
26.
If you're 26, it's also great advice.
And if
I
you're
agree.
36.
I don't know about that. I don't know if this applies to 100% of people. Adam.
When did I ever say 100%?
No, but when we say 36, it doesn't apply to everybody. Because to me, I've never lost money on a house I bought. Never. But I made way more money taking my money and putting it into my business.
Thank you.
Not even close. But the average person isn't that. The average person doesn't have, $500,000 to put into a business and 13 years later
The
sell it
average
for
person
$250,000.
doesn't have any money right now.
The average person doesn't have any money right now, but there are people that are working that have a wife, have kids, and they would like to own a home. To those who are in that position, and your trajectory isn't one that's going to go from a $63,000 a year job to a $200,000 a year job. Your $63,000 in 10 years could be 92, or let's just say in 10 years it could be 101, and then 10 years later it's going to be 173 in 20 years. Let's say that's the trajectory. You're going to be better off going to a community that's an up-and-coming community that is going to be lower price place for you to buy. That's what it's really going to come down to. You have two choices. Have a smaller family, or if you want to have a bigger family, go to an area where cost of living is less. That's really the choices you got. A lot of people in Dallas, Rob, can you type in average value of home in Frisco in 1995? Average value of home in Frisco, 1995.
248,000.
No, I think it's going to be lower
Way
than that
less
in
than that.
1995. It's going to be probably $85,000. Okay, there you go. Median home, 1995 was $114,000.
Damn.
Okay, how much is it today? What is the average? What is the average? Same exact question, except in 2025 in Frisco.
In Frisco,
700,
I don't think it's
375.
700, but I think it's going to be
375. I'm going
in 2025.
Way off.
So it's going to be 6.
I said 7.
in Frisco.
Exactly.
Yes.
So by the way,
my
check
God.
this out. If you would have bought a house in Frisco in 95, 30 years later, you have $560,000 of equity. That's where this argument loses.
No, because
Let-
I'll tell
let-
you
let
where.
me
If you would have
finish.
put that into
Let me
your
finish.
stock market or 401k, you'd have over $1 million.
No, you would not. So
Yes, you would.
let me finish with the statement
Yes,
here.
sir.
You're using it purely at a 12%. The part with this house argument, and I'm not a realtor. I can't believe I'm defending realtors.
You are.
Because of your ludicrous argument that you're making. No,
I'm sound judgment.
I'm a finance guy. What I'm trying to tell you is, notice that even the arrogant financial guru here said
arrogant.
that the 114 in Frisco is going to be $320,000. His reaction to what it is today, 672. So now let's do the math. What do you think is going to be in 30 years in Frisco? You think it's going to have the same kind of growth that it had last 30 years? No, it's not. So I'm not telling you move to Frisco. What I'm saying to you is, what is the next Frisco? What is the next city that's being built that you can go in? Because your value today and the income you make doesn't allow you to go buy a house this big. Look at Fort Lauderdale. 5 years ago, 2019, You know what the median sale price of a home was in Fort Lauderdale 5 years ago? Go to 2019. Pull up the same exact argument, Rob, if you could. 5 years ago, 2019. In 2019, it was that's median. That's not right. Yeah, that's what it was. In 2019, it was 365. Today, it's what? Today, it's going to be $700,000. Let me see what the numbers, if you pull it up for today. Today, it's going to be $682,000. So it's doubled in 6 years. If something doubles in 6 years, you're getting 12% rate of return. Are you going to get that every 6 years in Fort Lauderdale? You're not, okay? But in Florida, the challenge with Florida is the fact that people are moving here from blue states like New York and Illinois. You can be strategic about it. That's all I'm saying to you right now. So if you're somebody that has the ability to buy, be strategic about it. Don't be reckless about it. But if you're somebody that 90% of your savings is going to go into a down payment of a house and that's it, you're going to be stressed out, do not do it. Don't do it. It's not for everybody. Don't take your entire down payment to buy anything if it's the savings that you have in a bank. So there is a part of the argument that for a 26-year-old or a 45-year-old who is an Uber guy, no wife, no kids, relaxed, chilling, enjoying fun, very minimalistic mindset, yeah, that also makes sense. But if you're planning on having a wife and kids and you want to find a way to increase your net worth the next 5, 10, 15 years, no one philosophy applies to everybody. Just be a little bit more strategic about it.
What percentage?
Go ahead, Adam.
Well, thank you for the personal reveals. However, what percentage
reveals? The world knows the reveals.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for reminding them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate that. You're married, 4 kids.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
You want to be my realtor? You want to be my realtor? Is that what you're saying?
I would never.
I will hire you as my realtor, Pat.
Adam, I've had
I know you're part of the Realtor Association
5 minutes
now.
with Pat. 48 minutes later, if you're Adam's realtor, holy shit, you better have a therapist with
Guys,
you. But go ahead.
Don't ever ask a follow-up question
ahead.
in a meeting with Pat because the 5 minutes goes to 45 minutes and you're labeled an overtalker. What percentage of people?
Well, you wear it well.
What percentage of people
Should follow my advice versus your advice at this point? I'm saying for the average person, do not buy. Houses
it's not your advice, Adam. This is an advice that I've been given for 20 years, that if you're an entrepreneur and you have something that can have a higher rate of return than a house, don't buy a house. I've been saying this for 25 years, and I've lived it.
Okay.
So my idea is I've lived that life.
I agree.
Right? Okay. But for the person that is not, and they're in their career that you may be moving, don't lock yourself into something for 5 to 7 years. Because you may move. If you move, you buy a house, you're locked in to that area, okay? But for everybody else, if your resources allows, you ought to entertain it. Not for everybody,
What percentage of people, though?
I don't think this, as a guy that's done and has sold 750,000 life insurance policies in the last 20-something years and has had tens of thousands of clients that we've sat down with, no two cases are the same. It varies. Age of kids, the temperament of the marriage. Are the husband and wife pretty good together? Do they think they're going to be together? Is it constant chaos the last 2 years? If it is, and you both know that this is not going to be working out, you may not want to buy anything together right now. Try to work on your marriage. Is she getting demoted? Is her job going away? Does she have a job that asks? There is no black and white answer to this. It's such a complicated answer. The only thing I'm telling you is there is no 100% black and white answer to complicated case like that today.
I agree with you. I've never said that it's black and white or 100%. What percentage of single people, you're not married, you don't have kids, different lenses, I totally get that. What percentage of single people should go out there and buy a house today?
What do they do for a living?
They make 80 grand a year.
How much cash do they have in place?
38 grand in the bank.
Yeah, I'm not buying anything.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not
Why
buying
not?
anything. Because 38, if you buy anything with the average price is $500,000, you need to put 20% down. Let's just say you put 10%. You can't even afford to buy a house.
Now, what percentage of Americans do you think fall into that category?
For the
You're
young,
single, you're 30, you make 80 grand, and you have 50 grand to your name.
You're asking a question of like this. Vinny, if you're 47 years old, handsome, you take care of your body, you're funny, should you marry an 87-year-old who's single?
I mean, what does she do for a living?
That's how Adam's asking this question.
No, that's so unfair.
Yeah, Palm Beach is where we're going.
So should,
I'm not doing what you're
Vinny
asking
buy
the
a place
question.
right
Let's
now?
move. I don't wanna
Prenup
do
or
20
no
minutes on the-
prenup?
I'm not doing
If
20 minutes on the
okay.
story.
If
I'm
it's
not
no
doing 20 minutes on the
prenup, I'll
story.
go.
Yeah.
All I'm telling you is no two stories is
Pat,
for everybody.
who said that?
Yeah. Let's move
You
on
think
to
I'm
the
saying
next.
that?
There's a lot of things that's going on right now in the marketplace. Tomorrow night, the 19th, Tuesday night, the 19th at 6 p.m., free webinar, 20 threats, 20 business threats you cannot ignore in 2025. We do this every year, and it's a new one every single year that we go through. I highly, highly recommend, if you're somebody that runs a small business, you're an executive with a company, or somebody that's an entrepreneur, you're running a business, you're planning on doing something for yourself, whatever you do not miss tomorrow night's webinar at 6 p.m., August 19th. Again, 6 p.m., everybody at the end gets the white paper of the 20 threats. Everybody gets the white paper of the 20 threats and a couple other items that we'll be discussing on that. Rob, the link for it is vtwebinar.com. Go to vtwebinar.com to register for the webinar. Again, vtwebinar.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.